In 2015, the Pew Center released a study they had done the previous year that shows that only 70.6% of the U.S. population considered themselves Christian. Now, that may sound like a lot, but when you consider that just 7 years prior, in 2007, that same study that they did had 78.4%. An 8% drop in just 7 years. Now, we don't have the most recent study, but we've had a global pandemic that has upended everything in our culture. So I'm sure that drop has become even more pronounced over these last 7 years. Now, during that same time, they also found that the number of people who were religiously unaffiliated went from 16.1% to 22.8%. Those are people who identify themselves as atheist, agnostic, or nothing in particular. Now, what this all means is that there is a real need for us to be more evangelistic and more bold in going and inviting people to hear the good news of Jesus Christ. We're in the midst of a series on The Chosen, Season 2, and this week's episode, Episode 2, looks at the story of Philip and Nathanael as Jesus encounters them for the first time. We see this in Scripture beginning in John chapter 1, verse 43, where he encounters Philip. And it's interesting with both of these disciples, Jesus' approach to both of them and their reaction. Philip is raring to go. In fact, when Philip encounters Jesus for the first time, he immediately goes to his friend Nathanael and he says, "Come and see." Come and see, which is kind of an overarching theme for this season of The Chosen. Part of what we're called to do as Christians is to invite others into the story, to come and see. Now, interestingly, we see Nathanael answer a little bit differently. He's a little bit more skeptical. He can't imagine anything coming out of Nazareth. But Jesus answers him, sees him for who he is, even tells him, "I saw you under that fig tree." You see, Jesus oftentimes sees more in us than we see in ourselves, which is all the more reason for us to look deeper at ourselves and at others, especially in our call to go out and share the good news. We're going to talk about this episode. We're going to talk about these two disciples more fully this coming Sunday as we continue our series. Now, I'm in my office today, and you'll notice on the back of my door, and I've mentioned this before, I have a sign that says, "Is this a petty matter or a kingdom issue?" Sharing the good news of Jesus Christ is always a kingdom issue. It's nothing petty about it. And we're going to talk about that and so much more this Sunday in worship. So I hope you'll make plans to join me either in person or online at 10 a.m. here at First Church Siloam as we continue our series on The Chosen, Season 2. See you then.